the Vaishnava, honor to the Vaishnavas, to Gauranga and his associates, and to to Lord Krishna and his associates. And that all comes in the verse, Vandeham. Vandeham Shri Guru, Shri Yuta Pada Kamalang, Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatang Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitams Cha. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvije Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this week, Seva Rupa Devidasi is our host. Praneshwari Devidasi, she's still running everything in the background, but she can't have internet at this time of the day, for the time being at least, because she's using public internet or internet in another place, but not available this time at her home. And this week, then Leela Moy Prabhu is up near the gods in the sky as we speak. He is flying back from Thailand to Brazil. So he's in the air as we speak. And Srila Gurudev, and this is definitely a meditation whenever you take a flight. For those of you who take flights, maybe everybody. And we're waiting. Where was Dana? Did I see Dana somewhere? Yes. So we're waiting for Dana K to take a long distance flight one day soon too. So we are all waiting and giving support to you, Dana. So when you're in the sky and looking down, you can think of Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj's expression. He said, when I'm in the aeroplane, I'm looking down to the clouds and watching the devas playing. So I've looked down there to watch the devas playing. And yes, we can imagine many things after hearing Gurudev's words, but no, I haven't seen the devas flying in the sky or playing in the sky. But some of the clouds, really, you could, especially when you look a little bit sideways, you can think, whoa, there could be something going on up here. And it's very beautiful from above the clouds. And who will see that beauty? But there is beauty everywhere. Hare Krishna. Well, Chintamani Devidasi just bounced into our Zoom meeting as well. And with Nadia Sundari there. They did, as predicted last week, they did their Bangkok Harinam Sankirtan with some good souls. So well done to you all. All right, dear devotees, first of all, big jais to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockhoff Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and to Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They are all bringing us Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the message of Mahaprabhu incarnate. So they're all bringing us, yes, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu incarnate, not an ordinary person of this world, bringing us Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. He is not an ordinary person of this world. And the beginning of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author, then goes to good lengths to make sure we understand that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not one of us, a jiva soul, but is not only Vishnu Tattva, means of the nature of the Supreme Lord, but he is the original nature, the original Lord of all forms of the Lord. And that Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna combined himself. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj goes to great lengths to explain that Mahaprabhu is very special and not to take his pastimes as ordinary, rather the opposite, to see his pastimes as instructional, but also as a window to that highest land, the land of love of God. Radha, Krishna combined, Krishna experiencing himself, the nature, the rasa, the mood, the flavor, the experience of fullest devotion to himself by taking the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. So Mahaprabhu is very extremely special, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is extremely special. And all of our masters are extremely special. But when we take as a big jump in our parampara from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we jump without jumping over, but giving acknowledgement to all in the line, but come from there to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there we will find that the message of Mahaprabhu, in Mahaprabhu's nature of broad distribution, then again has come to this world in Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he appeared in this world by the sincere prayer of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who knew very well, and also from the upper plane has come here, and he knew very well the necessity of a person who will be accepted, somebody of Krishna, of Mahaprabhu's clan, who will be accepted by everyone as the voice of Sri Chaitanya Dev. And this was Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose life was exemplary from birth. When he was born with his umbilical cord in the form of the sacred thread wrapped around his body. And when that was seen as he was born, oh, this is very auspicious sign for his appearance. And then from then on, his whole life was exemplary life of a pure devotee. So hearing Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prayer, then Mahaprabhu, Krishna, sent from that upper world their delegation to re-establish the teachings of Mahaprabhu that will be accepted by one and all. All right, dear devotees, I'm having a quick look in my notes just to see if we had some homework from last week. But surprisingly, we don't. I thought perhaps we should have had some homework. But you know, as you may have discovered, I'm not very keen to set homework because nobody does it. When we ask next time, or very few, it's not nobody does it. Some devotees do it, like Jivana Devi Rasi does it, and I'm not sure of who else. I'm sure I've missed somebody out, but that doesn't mean I'm guaranteeing that none else of you did do. But who else is Leela Moy Prabhu? He's pretty good at doing homework and catching up. I was going to say in Thailand, but Leela Moy Prabhu in the aeroplane. But he can't hear us, so we can talk about him now, but he can't hear us. But we'll only be talking good things. But we know that can be embarrassing can't it? All right. So dear one, oh, Prema Sindhu is with us, and unusually, even some light off. Very often he doesn't have a light on, so he's paid the electricity bills, and there's some light. And Prema Sindhu, I just want to say that we've been watching the video you sent a little while ago of Srila Guru Maharaj's veranda in Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. And not so long ago, you sent a few months ago. And really, when we see that and we're able to explain to devotees, it is very transporting, very transportational. We are going there to the veranda. And Srila Guru Maharaj says that what is the fastest thing in this world? Fastest travel in this world is not an aeroplane. It is the mind, the speed of the mind. We can go somewhere with the mind. But in Kali Yuga, the mind needs some help. And we are very visual, though in fact, audio is really our means to go somewhere else, to be transported somewhere else. But we are also very visual. It's a visual age. And when we see a video, when we see something which is almost like being there, good quality video, then we are feeling very, much helped. Our mind is very much helped. Go zoom. Oh, we're on Zoom, but go zoom to the mat in this case. Anyhow, let us keep Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, their presence fresh in our mind, but fresh in our heart, because everything ultimately is a heart transaction. So Prema Sindhu, very grateful when you send little clips and a couple of minutes like this video. It is very much appreciated. Hare Krishna. Okay, dear devotees, so we are on Zoom and we're always waiting to hear from you just to make sure your microphones work. So would somebody like to volunteer with some Hare Katha, some reflection? And there are plenty of things to reflect about. There must be in your lives, in everybody's life, devotionally speaking, of course, to reflect. And any question, but not questions first. First will be some reflection, something you read, heard, experienced, understood for the first time or re-understood.
Maharaj, I can say a couple of words.
Hey, speaking flower. Oh, flower turned into a person. Yes.
Just today I've heard Bhakti Lalita was reading from the sermons of the Guardian of Devotion. I believe it was volume 2, chapter 5. But there was like Maharaj Parikshit was listening from Shukadev Goswami, the part where Shukadev Goswami says like, leave this animal consciousness that you are this body and so on. And interesting thing, Bhakti Lalita said that sometimes people say like we only live once, so it means like you want to expand your exploiting tendency and capacity and take everything from life. But then after I've heard this her words, I thought like I mean kind of a little bit, if you think that an act as if you only live once, you will have to live many more lives in order to pay your debts for that. Like something like this. And actually Bhakti Lalita read very beautiful passage, like how all these gross bodies and gross consciousness that covers it, it's all like not real yourself. But yeah, somehow just this part I wanted to comment. That's it.
And that is also a very powerful expression of Srila Guru Maharaj about We have this animal consciousness, and then doesn't he say, kill it? Kill this animal consciousness. I mean, in a very strong way. Perhaps it's there, perhaps it's in another place. I was going to try to locate that quote, but Srila Guru Maharaj does use that expression about animal consciousness. Kill it. And that's in us. That's not, oh, they have it. It's us. And we see it when there's something suddenly very scary happens, and then we realize in ourselves also that there's the animal I, me, mine, save my body mood comes in, and the heart beats fast, and all sorts of things which, when there's an emergency, something happens, then we can realize it. We haven't quite killed our animal consciousness inside yet. The animal is still there. Yes. Hare Krishna. And I know that there are two people here who are eager to say something, and that's Kumkum Devirasi and Jivana. They're always eager. But I am giving an opportunity to anyone else, like Nadia Sundari. No, okay. We don't want to put anyone on the spot. So this week oh yes, Nadia, you do have something to share, yes.
Dandavat.
Dandavat, 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 Dandavat.
Oh no! We don't know what it is.
Now you know how Koti Dandavat look like.
Right. But our computers cannot.
I'm sorry, dear devotees. Yes, Gurudev, I would like to share, but I'm keeping this sharing for Ukrainian Zoom. Yesterday I had a lot of thoughts about how much mercy we received from our gurus. According to half, people are trying to, they are making mistakes by killing the nature and creation of Krishna, and then some of them are putting their lives into making something good with that mistakes, like saving animals and so on. And I thought that I could be that person, like who can devote the life to like saving some mammals, but it's so useless from the perspective of knowing about Krishna consciousness. And I'm always trying to put my mind into that whenever I see what is going just around the world, and observing the climate changes and animals and people, what they're doing, like, and same like with me, like still knowing that it's so hard to just to surrender and just to take this, the only straw of opportunity to get out from that suffering. And it's so stupid. And that was just one, like I was visiting a person who was watching some sci-fi episodes about future and about how we are killing planet, and also how digital the world is going. So that just brought me a lot of thoughts, which I will share on Ukrainian Zoom. Like I was connecting to the Krishna consciousness, that, and also that about digital part, that how amazing. Yes, you're always mentioning that we are using Zoom to have this communication. And we don't know what will be in 2060. Like, it will be, I think, even more digital, but how amazing. Also, I need to mention that nobody understands like Avadut Maharaj, but he's also trying to be ahead, because maybe in 2060 there will be only digital preaching. We don't know. We don't know what will happen, but he is already like trying to taking care of it, that message will still go on. So this is amazing, and that's what I wanted to share. Thank you. And yes, we had amazing Namahata Bangkok meeting with two sincere people. Three, they came, and two of them already were reading Bhagavad Gita before, so it was also very heart melting. That's all. Dandavats.
Jai. And Krishna sent them because if they're reading the Gita, now they can sort of get the next installment after reading. Then they can hear the message that's coming of Bhagavad Gita from the living great souls and how we've received that. From the book Shastra to the Sadhu Sangha. And yes, we see in the world, this theme of saving some particular animal, giving one's focus there, saving the penguins and stuff. If you see a video on the penguins and their plight, and the polar bears and their plight with the melting oceans, and then the heart must go out to see the suffering of others. But if we can transfer that tendency to do good, to help, then if we can transfer that tendency to do good, to help the Lord and to help the Vaishnavas, then what we will be doing is making our natural tendency to have compassion on others, to make that have a purpose which will fulfill all the purposes. All the purposes of all the saving this and saving that is all served if we can save from this plane of birth and death and take us home to Krishna. And Krishna wants us to go home. And this is why he's extending his mercy through the scriptures, through the Vaishnavas, through the Guru lineage. So when we see suffering with saving all sorts of things, there's unlimited places to go to do like good works in this world, but it's all partial. Even when you've got maybe billions of dollars, like Bill Gates, etc., they have so much money, but they want to do something good. But with everything apparently good in this world, there's some other reaction coming, and it's temporary, even at best. So the best thing to do is to chant the holy name and encourage others to chant the holy name and have compassion on all the fallen souls of this world. And we see that nature is there, and people become very focused on saving all kinds of creatures. We don't have to, single out a particular creature. But if we can use that caring tendency in the association with the devotees, then that will give a huge bonus, more than bonus. It'll give the proper direction. It'll gradually wake up our capacity to see the reality of the journey home, waking up. And that comes from Sukriti. Sukriti comes from satisfying the Vaishnavas. So, good, very good reflection. Jai, and well done to the Bangkok preaching. Hare Krishna. Kumkum Devi, a word or two, and Jeevana, a word or two. I know you've got things lined up. And if you Maybe if one of you two senior devotees gives some guidance for us all for some homework before 3 days' time, then maybe we'll all have a little homework to do, and we'll all do it knowing a senior devotee who asked, therefore we should do.
Dandavat Maharaj and all of the devotees, I'm actually amazed. We hear that there's no such thing as coincidences, but what Nadia Sundari Didi was bringing out reminds me of something that I wanted to read from Subjective Evolution of Consciousness, which I came across. And the question is amazing, and Srila Guru Maharaj's answer is so enlivening, so helpful for us. The question is that the Puranas say that there are 8,400,000 species of life. Are they only ideas? And he answers, all ideas. Consciousness is always in the primary position. Yet these ideas are real because they are also originally present in the spiritual reality, Vrindavan. Nothing is eliminated in our conception of reality. Everything is harmonious. Everything has its proper position. Nothing is to be eliminated. The only thing necessary is harmony. Only our outlook, our angle of vision needs to be changed. But in order to have that kind of vision, we must give up being self-centered. Both exploitation and renunciation must be given up. These two things cause us hallucination. Everything has its contribution to the service of the Supreme Center. And if we can understand that, we can become free from this relative world. The material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. There's undesirability here. From Brahma, who holds the highest position in this universe, to the lowest creature, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka, everyone is prone to misconception. On the other hand, everything in Vrindavan contributes towards the pastimes of Radha Govinda. So our natural compassion, as you're explaining, is so beneficial for us when we want to apply that to service of the Vaishnavas or those who could be Vaishnavas, whatever kind of body they're in right now. But honestly, we'll be frustrated if we only keep our compassion at the human level. I was told that Srila Prabhupada said that when species become extinct, they have that word, they consider they're extinct if there are no more, or they're going to very soon be no more of that particular species, means that there is no soul who is deserving and desiring that particular kind of body to enjoy in this world. And so our scientific analysis tells us that we mistreated the species and now they're extinct, but actually it's all about the consciousness. So Krishna is providing that kind of fulfillment of somebody's desires and desserts according to what their spiritual needs are actually. And so we must become uplifted so that we can be in his part of his plans, even in this world.
Jai. And when we read Gurudev's books and Guru Maharaj's books and Srila Prabhupada's books, then hearing from them, it's like when we hear from the right source, then something goes in our heart, and we're told we should hear about the high pastimes of the Lord from the right source. But when we hear about everything from the right source, it just makes sense. It just goes inside, and so almost like, well, I kind of know that, but I needed to have it pointed out. Something like that. This waking up, Jeev, Jago, and we come across similar things throughout where we've been woken up. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya woke up to Krishna consciousness, the personality of Godhead. And then like the penny dropped, as it were. but the penny dropped by coming through the powerful heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the stone heart of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So when we are hearing these expressions coming from the devotees, coming from Kumkum, it's like we are tasting what is being given by the masters and then sharing that with others. And so this keeps everything very living, and living from the pure devotees through the Vaishnavas to us, to the present day. So life, a life connection. And when you were reading that just now, just yes.
Yeah. Yes. So we don't have to be frustrated in our good attempts. We can be completely fulfilled.
Yes, putting food to the stomach. How many times we read that example? And I remember reading it recently, and it just jumped out again that, yes, the one purpose, put food to the stomach, and everything is automatically nourished, from the fingernails to the tips of the toes to all the organs, everything is nourished. And when we do our service to the Lord, all of the creation, which is His, is nourished automatically. So our energy will be used to put our energy in the right place, which is for the satisfaction of the Lord. And how? Through His devotees. Watering the root of the tree, not watering this branch, or just watering the fruit. Oh, you see, the fruit will come from the end of the branch, so I'll just water the end of the branch. Anyone will think, well, that's a little insane. Put water to the root. Oh, okay. So this becomes clear when we hear. And by the way, that verse, Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha, that verse is one of the few verses that I would quote in India when we would have to give some talk and we'd be asked to say something to the assembled Indians when we're out doing the preaching and the collection, the evening programs throughout Bengal in particular. Then I would use that verse a lot, because especially that time, India had quite recently opened up, and they're all thinking, or maybe not all, so many were thinking like the Western world, the Britain, London, America, California, that this is heaven, that's like the Brahma Loka of planet Earth, that there everything is very heavenly and perfect. And so they see us white men, and they're all looking, and everybody knows when you're in the villages, like people, they like stare and look. It's not out of any kind of strange feeling, but like they're thinking something wrong, but they're looking because they've never seen, or then maybe now much more they have, but in many of the villages they haven't seen a white man before going through the village.
Mhm.
And some of the ladies were like very disturbed because they are thinking that they're looking at them in the wrong way, but no, they're looking at us all like, and they're from another place. And how many times we've asked, oh, can you get me a visa for your country? Or I want to go there. How many times? We've been asked so many times. So when we point out from Bhagavad Gita, from the highest planet to the lowest planet, all are places of misery, wherein birth and death take place. So we need to search our home somewhere else, and Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and the devotees have shown us the destination and the direction and how to go. So yes, so I'm happy to hear that verse to remind me also. Yes, Jivana, you are also living in a heavenly planet by the Indian village's conception in California. Oh, Kumkum's no longer in California. She's in Oregon, the next state up. I don't think many Indians have heard of Oregon, but they've heard of California, Los Angeles, LA. Jivana, you are living in that destination place, the destination by consciousness of so many in the world. They want to go there. What would you like to share from heaven?
What was it that Gurudev said one time to Guru Maharaj said to Goswami Maharaj, I think, how, oh, when he was going back to California, he said, oh, he's going back so far away. Like California's just like so far away because this real center of the spiritual domain is there in Navadvip. And then when we leave, we're going so far from there.
Srila Guru Maharaj to
Was
Goswami
it Guru?
Maharaj.
Was it Guru?
Srila Guru Maharaj, as far as the wording goes, I've heard different times him say that Srila Guru Maharaj said to him as he was just about to go, said, so now you're going to some distant corner or distant quarter of the earth. You're going to some distant corner to take Mahaprabhu's message. And so Goswami Maharaj said, Srila Goswami Maharaj, he said that struck me, that we're always thinking California's, no, this is the center of the world. Everything comes from here. But from Srila Guru Maharaj's perspective, some distant quarter, distant place. Yes, but you are there now. What would you like to share from that distant corner of the world as understood by Guru Maharaj, and that aspired heavenly place as understood by so many villages in India? So different perspective, different consciousness. Yes, Jeevan.
Well, I'm already feeling so happy and so nourished by hearing from Priyanana and Nadia Sundari and Kumkum Devi, because wherever they are, they're not in California, and they have so much beautiful insights for Krishna consciousness. So it's always reminding, I'm very low class, but it's always reminding some low class person like me that I'm not actually the center of the universe, and neither is California. And these devotees are just so very wonderful. And I'm really so grateful to have the association of everybody on the Zoom call. That is really amazing. And I see that Rupanuk has also joined us now. He gave such a lovely insight last week, and Priyanana. And so that's really, really super enlivening. This conference, this whole Zoom call is very enlivening. And but since you asked me for something, oh, and to the point of homework, it appears to me that everyone on this call is already doing tons of homework, probably a lot more than I'm doing, and listening to Zoom calls and reading books and discussing with each other. So just want to throw that out there for the moment. And I did, since it's a back-to-back to basics class, which is so very wonderful. Came across this somehow or other came across this in the Benedictine Tree of Divine Aspiration. I was reading something out of one of my binders, and it actually came from Benedictine Tree of Divine Aspiration. And I was reading this from Universal Grace, which is the second chapter. And it's someone asking a question: how should we picture Krishna in our mind while chanting? And how should we see ourselves in relation to him so that we can remain Krishna conscious? I like that question because every time I'm chanting, it always comes up, even though I've been chanting for a little while, very, very little while, if you look at the eternal span of time. But you always want to know how to chant. What should I be thinking when I'm chanting? Because I know I think we heard it from you, Maharaj, that Gurudev said that you don't really look at the deity, like focusing on the deities or anything in particular when you chant, because the mind is like a vulture and it will always kind of contaminate things, so that we should really just listen to the holy name. So this is what Srila Govinda Maharaj said in that regard. He said once when Srila Guru Maharaj was giving Harinam Diksha to someone, they asked, what should we think about when we chant Hare Krishna? Guru Maharaj said, it is not necessary to think of anything. You should just know that the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a transcendental mantra. If you can give proper nourishment to yourself and to that mantra, he can be revealed to you in your heart. Proper nourishment means that you must avoid the 10 kinds of offenses. And during your chanting time, you must pray to the holy name, O Hare, O Krishna, please be revealed in my heart. The mantra is couched as a calling unto the Lord. Hare Krishna means Radha Krishna, but it is not necessary for you to know a literal meaning. You only need to know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appears in this mundane world in the form of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He can appear in the heart of each of us with his full form. He has that capacity. So that was really beautiful. And then a little bit later, I mean, there's a lot here, so I just picked 2 places. A little bit later, he's talking about how we're chanting, but we're not feeling very much. So he's talking about how capacity to chant comes to us through the process of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. Famous, very famous sloka that Guru Dev told us so many times. Mahaprabhu expressed that mainly capacity means that without offense, we are to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. If we are able to chant in this way, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra must appear within our heart. The 10 kinds of offenses are dangerous things. The main obstruction is ego. If we cannot first remove ego, then in which way can we chant? Therefore, we must follow the 4 advices given to us by Sriman Mahaprabhu. Then the ego will go out and other obstructions will go out also. His advice is Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One who knows himself is more insignificant than a blade of grass, who is as forbearing as a tree, and who gives due honor to others without desiring it for himself, is qualified to sing the glories of Lord Hari constantly. So that was something that came up.
And Srila Gurudev, he composed those 10 verses about Namaparad. And then, so hopefully, this has been homework in the past. This is constant homework. Please know the 10 offenses to the holy name as part of your DNA, not to try to struggle. Oh, what were those offenses? The first instruction given to us. Anyhow, let's not dwell there, just in case anyone has a guilty conscience and feels, no, I can't quite, I haven't quite got it yet. But anyway, Srila Gurudev, in each of 10 verses, one by one, he's describing the offense to the holy name. And then at the end, he gives another verse. And do I have the Kirtan guide open? I don't. He gives another verse saying that if you will, with no exception, abandon all of these 10 offenses, then the miracle of the holy name, the name will be like a miracle, and the name himself will shine within one's heart forever. So now I'm going to see if I can find where that is. And it's at the front of the Kirtan guide. Harinama Mahamantra Sava Mantra Sa. All of you efficient devotees, Seva Ruparini. I expect you can find it quickly. Harinama Mahamantra. Okay, it's page 29. So I'll just read the last verse. So after explaining the 10 offenses, then Srila Gurudev says this verse, composed this verse. E dasha aparada korya vajana jaina jana kori harinama sankirtana apurva Shri Krishna prema labhya tare hoy nama prabhu tara hridoy nitya vilasoy. Casting off these 10 offenses, leaving no exception, those pure souls who chant the name in holy congregation, the miracle of love for Krishna, they will surely savor. The name divine himself will shine within their hearts. For how long? Forever. Nama Prabhu Tara Hriday Nitya Vilasai. So it's a good idea if we can avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name. And by the way, I see that Sevarupa's efficiency has also revealed that the homework from last time, I thought there was some homework. It was to learn or relearn, revise Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsridya Vidherapi Kain Karyam Krishna Padaika Ashayatvan Sharanagatihi. And let me see, to help you, to help the revision process go along. Yes, one moment. Bhagavad Bhakti. I'll put in the chat box, if I can. I'm sure I can. I just have to get some windows out of the way. I have to close the window first. Just see. Okay, I'm going to put in the chat box that verse. So just in case. Oh, I didn't send it to everyone. Let me do it again. All right. So this, our digital world, we can send instantly. It's there in the chat box, so just as an image, so that you do get the diacritics right. And so, yes, and digitally, we're always stressing, please utilize the digital facility in its proper way, and there is a great boom there. And misuse it, and then there is a great hole there. So everything with great power comes great responsibility. And we do have great power at our fingertips. And so let us use it nicely. And at the same time, we have to say we're very happy when we actually get physical books when we can. And I saw Jeevana just now actually reading from the Benedictine tree, reading from the book. So side by side, because the digital matters, they won't last forever. We know it. They'll peak, and how long they will survive, let us see. But it is as long as Mahaprabhu's message can be transmitted this way and it has used properly, it'll be there. When Mahaprabhu wants to withdraw all of this, it'll be withdrawn. And at the end of Kali Yuga, Kalki will come with a sword. All of this technology, as Gurumar said, all this material advancement and technology will come to devour itself. They will see what is the result of all of this way of progress. It will devour itself. And how will everything come? By power of the sword, and animal consciousness will be in its direct animal state, as in the animal world. Devotees have compassion. They like to see beautiful things. They sent Gurudev a set of DVDs. In fact, he had DVDs from National Geographic and from Discovery Channel, something like that. Very beautiful photography, beautiful nature, but one is eating another. One is food for the other. And then you see that kingdom. So the world goes on. And we have a devotee who had a dream 2 days ago. It wasn't me, who had a dream that they were a bird and that they were always afraid. And they said, I don't know if this is my past life or not. They said, I was always afraid. He said, we look at birds and we think, oh, they're so beautiful, they're free. But I was always afraid and always fearing. But anyway, it was a dream. We're not going to say this is a reality. But you can see birds, generally they're not going to let you get anywhere. They're always looking around, they're fearful. And then sometimes they're happy. You see them. They say lovebirds, don't they? You see two birds sitting there on a whole wire and just two birds side by side. So they get a little bit of happiness, but a lot of fear. So this is the world. Hare Krishna. So Kumkum didn't give us directly homework, but Jivana indicated some homework. We just need to chant the holy name without offense. So it is good for us. It is back to basics. And so to revise this verse, Bhagavad Bhaktitaha Sarvam, which is in the text, the chat box is a picture, please download it, because it has the word by word in it, which is helpful, and we want to know what we're saying. And then 10 offenses to the holy name, that we can revise. It's revision. I hope this is revision for us all. It's not the first time you've heard. These are the 10 offenses to the holy name. Learn them and avoid them. So it's revision. And from Kumkum we can have the verse, Abrahma bhuvana lokaha, punnar avatino juna. And then the next two lines.
I don't recall, Maharaj, and only the first line is quoted in this selection.
Okay, it's Gita, and so we can pick this up, and Sevarupidiri can find it in our Bhagavad Gita with the word by word, and she can do like I did. She can make a screenshot and then pop it into the chat box. Govinda, Govinda. Yes, any short question from anybody or a little squeak from anybody else. A squeak. So quiet, the devotees. But how come when all devotees are in a room together, we can't hear ourselves sing? Because they're all
Dhanavad,
chatting so
Gurudev.
much.
I can share something.
Vrindavaneshwari, in the night in Brazil. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So a short mention, I can do that.
Please.
Because today we are reading again the Prapana Jivanamrita, and we pass by, I can call sloka.
Yes.
And the one I prefer, I love to read that sloka. And today was this day, so it was a nice day to in the morning read that, which is I put in English. A sincere aspiration to attain perfection in devotional service. When will I flourish in a life of servitude as your eternal devotee, with my heart pacified because all other desires have been consumed by occupation in your uninterrupted service? I think it's so beautiful, and I wake up in a happy way because of that. I want to share.
Beautiful, and appreciate very much. And Vrindavaneshwari Didi reminding us that we all did have homework too from Srila Gurudev on the 1st of January to again read Sri Sri Prapana Jivana Amritam. So Vrindavaneshwari, I'm very happy to hear that your homework is continuing happily. And we appreciate.
Yes, we are here. We are rereading here in Brazil.
Yes. And this week, by the way, or maybe it was the end of, oh no, Thursday, probably the weekend. Unfortunately, I finished reading Prapanajivana I got to the end and we just wanted to keep on going. So we can reread. But this week, by the way, in our reading here in Villa Govinda Ashram in Italy, we finished the reading of The Religion of the Heart, another of those books you just, oh, it's ended. You know, we just want to keep on reading. But then, with every ending is a beginning. And we just started reading The Loving Search for the Lost Servant. Again, yes, again. And from the beginning, as Gurudev said, we should read each book from the very beginning, from the prelude, the introduction, the preface, whatever is there at the beginning, and then to come to the body of the book. So we should read in a systematic way. And already, it's not that we haven't read it before, but things jumped out at us. And actually, what a wonderful introduction to the book in the front, the prelude and the introduction. We're halfway through the introduction as we started just yesterday. But just, you know, what is Krishna consciousness? And what is our fortune? That Krishna himself is coming to search for us, the lost servants. And just, it was just like reading for the first time that, yes, this is where we've come to. We've somehow got caught in the net, the good net, the fishing net. Then they're all going to be slaughtered and eaten. But this net, we've got caught in the net of caught, but not eaten, caught and woken up. I don't know quite what to say. But some long time ago in Navadip, something happened from the government, you know, how they make random inquiry to different places. Like when you drive here in Italy, and I don't know, it's not in every country of the world, but in Italy, you can be just driving down the road and they just have random checks. They have a thing they put out, and then you have to come in and they check your license and check everything. For no reason. You haven't done anything wrong. You weren't speeding or something. They just see a car, pull it over. So anyway, something happened in India, and there was a random, like a random check for some government things. And the lawyer, he said, there are many fishes in the sea, but just now, you know, you are on the hook. So you can't say, oh, nobody else is going through it. So anyway, that's kind of an unfortunate hook. But when we are on the hook of something which is very good, like, oh, I'm being fished out from misery to the eternal land of joy, to the land of savor, to the land which is only achieved by the joy of service, without any motivation for return.
Maharaj. And you remember, can we imagine how great was the fortune of that fisherman who got Mahaprabhu in his net?
In the Leela, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes. But in our example, Krishna is the fisherman. He's fishing us out. He's the other way around. He has the ecstasy, and the touch of his fishing rod is going to transfer that to us. That's a little strange. But anyway, yes. And so Priyanana is reminding us of Jagannath Puri, a good place to be reminded of. Jagannath Puri, Navadip Dham, Vrindavan Dham. And we started today in Navadip Dham, being reminded of Premasindra Prabhu sending the video from Srila Gurudev's veranda, Srila Guru Maharaj's veranda, after it had been very nicely, you know, refurbished or just repainted and looked after very nicely. So we started being transported to Navadip, and we finished in Jagannath Puri, being reminded of the Leela of Mahaprabhu in ecstasy, going into the waves of the ocean, and the fisherman picking him out in the night, not recognizing who he was, but as soon as he touched him, All he could say after that was Krishna, Krishna, the holy names, and he was in ecstasy and he didn't know why. And his body, he brought his body to Chakratirtha, that place in Puri. When we go on pilgrimage, somehow it's a very special place. You can say it's just sand, but it's a special place. Everywhere's a special place. Every book is special. Every devotee is special. And this is a very special devotee family gathered here together. So appreciation to you all. And it's late at night or early in the morning or sometime day or night, wherever you are. But don't forget, wherever you are, Abrahma Bhuvanam Loka Punna Ravatino Juna Mamupetya tu Kaunteya Punna Janma Na Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, Krishna speaking, obviously, O son of Kunti, that's Arjuna, never takes birth again. Jai, well, Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan, he's the author of that. Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Shri Bhakti Roko Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Oh dear. Okay, I just saw something in the chat box. Yes, I won't be distracted. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai, Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. And so our homework, not ki Jai, but don't forget our homework. Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam, 10 offenses, and now we have Abrahma Bhuvana Lokaha. So we've got 3 things, and our daily reading of Prapana Jivanamritam. Probably most haven't finished the book, and if you have, well done.
Maharaj,
And check
excuse
out,
me.
but yes, Priyanana.
No, just Gaurav Prabhu, he said he had a question, but maybe next time he posted in the chat.
He says he has a question. Okay. Well, if there is a question, oh, Gaurav, yes, it's overtime. And please join us at the beginning. We start 1 hour and a bit before now. And if you can join us early with your question, then we're happy to have questions. So it's an open invitation. Please come and just put a little message in the chat to remind us. Yes, I have a question next time. All right, appreciate it and happy you have a question. Good. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Wishing you all a successful Seva week. Signing out. Signing out from Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Vila Govinda Ashram. That's its full name given by Srila Gurudev. From Italy, but not signing out. We're always available as much as possible if we can be of service. With all best wishes, devotionally, Hare Krishna. Govinda, 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 Ami Ashchi.
Dandavat pranams. Thank you, everyone.
Dandavat. Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much. Seva Rupani Didi. Dandavat. Jai Gurudev.